Match Fishtank, Unit 6, Lesson 5, Anchor Problem 1. So for number 1, we're going to look at two different diagrams for the equation 2x equals 8. In the first diagram, the tape diagram, we can see that there are two groups of x equaling 8. So to find out the amount for 1x, we have to divide by 2 to find out what just 1x is. And then since we do it there, we also have to divide by 2 on the total length to find that x is 4. In this side, what we're going to do is we're going to divide each of them into two parts on the scale. So I can think of this x as going with this section of ones. And if I divide by 2, if I divide the whole thing by 2, I'm going to end up with only one x on one side and 4 ones on the other side, giving me the same answer. Moving on down to problem 2. If we're looking for a tape diagram for the equation x divided by 5 equals 10, then what we need to do here is divide this x up into 5 equal-ish pieces. And each of those 5 pieces are worth 10. So now I can see that if I take 10 times 5, I will get the value of x. So in other words, I have to take x divided by 5 times 5 to find what x is. And on the other side, I have to take 10 times 5 to get that x is 50. So solving the equation p divided by 6 equals 9. What we can do is use our little dividing line here. So if I know p divided by 6, I want to get myself to just p. So I'm going to multiply each side by 6. Now, if I multiply p divided by 6, I just get p. And if I multiply 9 by 6, I get 54. So p is equal to 54. Moving on down to problem 3. So we have 3 equations here, and we're going to identify ways to solve each of them. In order to get myself to 1x in equation A, I'd have to multiply 1/5 x times 5. So that means I'd need to multiply 15 times 5, and A would be my accurate answer. To get to 1x in equation B, I'd need to multiply 3/5 x times 5/3 x. So that means I need to multiply 15 times 5/3. So B is a solution. But another way I could do that would be to take 3/5 x and divide it by 3/5. And then I could divide 15 by 3/5 too. And you know, of course, that's the same thing because dividing by 3/5 is the same thing as multiplying by 5/3. Finally, for equation C, I can either multiply 2/5 x times the reciprocal 5/2, which means I then need to multiply the other side by 5/2, giving me a correct answer in B, or I can divide 2/5 x by 2/5, and then I'd need to do the same thing to the other side. So again, B and C are correct answers.